Hello, beautiful souls, the Army of Light Earth Division, the boots on the ground. It's Shawna L. Francis, and today is January 23rd, 2024. Welcome, everybody, to this week's weekly briefing. I'm just going to be trudging along with this information. There's just a lot I want to go through. I'm not at all mentally organized. I really tried to, and I just decided I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to just hit the record button and hope for the best. Generally speaking, for today's weekly briefing team, thank you to everybody, first of all, for joining in the mass media meditation that Melchizedek requested of us. We had, I want to say, over 700 people have viewed that meditation. And I just want to thank everybody who really took the time, either as the group. Sometimes some of you are actually in both of those meditations, so yay. As a group or individually, if you did that meditation, thank you so much. And thank you on behalf of Melchizedek team. Even though we have a relatively small group here, we are so powerful. We are powerful. Melchizedek, they call upon us to do these things for a good reason. So if you haven't had a chance to do that meditation, please do so. It makes a big difference with the collective field. Yay! So it's just so exciting. All right, yeah, the year of disclosure, right? I am not missing being on mass media whatsoever. I already wasn't really doing it much. How's everybody doing? Have you had extra time not binge watching Netflix or doing some of these other things that we like to do? Let me know how it's going this week. I know we're just fresh into this, but I mean, it's a big deal for Melchizedek to ask us to not consume any kind of mass media. It's movies, it's news, it's sports, it's commercials, it's all the things. So wanted to start off with that. Couple other topics I want to talk about tonight. I do want to get into some of this more personal stuff as a follow-on to the unconditional love conversation that we had here a couple weeks ago. And then I also want to talk about this new major activation that I had again with Melchizedek 3 days ago, and what this means for me and what that means for us. Just really, it's been quite intense the last week or so. And even today, I'm kind of an emotional wreck. Lots of crying still. Like there's these moments of elation and then there's moments of sadness. And I am just trying to work my way through this. And this is all for good reason. Again, as we've talked about so many times on this channel, when the energy rises, when it just really gets super high, it shakes everything that's in the nooks and the crannies and the dark recesses of your field up to the surface to be dealt with. And I am absolutely going through this process right now. And I am feeling much more at peace knowing what this is. You know, we talked about the roller coaster, kind of the highs and the lows that come along with this journey that we're on together, this ascension journey, the journey of a light worker. You know, we are the calm in the chaos here. We are bringing the light to the darkest corners, not only collectively, but also within ourselves. This is such an important part of what we are doing as way showers here, really getting our own house in order, getting our field shored up, making sure that we are doing the work, the hard work that it takes so that we are able to shine our light, beam our light as a beacon for all to experience. Okay, so where to start with all of this? I think I'm going to start with some of the personal stuff. So, you know, with these increased frequencies, what I am seeing here, not only with myself, but also collectively here, is that this has been a time for like experimenting with energy, experimenting with self-expression. And I want to talk a little bit about orgasms once again. Talked about this a few months ago. You know, Melchizedek has talked about this being the year of disclosure, really being in our discernment about this. I'm also going to just add in here, I think it's also the year of the ecstatic orgasm. I don't want to go into too much detail here, but I am talking to so many people, men and women, who are really kind of rediscovering their kind of sexual nature here, that animal base, raw sexual nature, and embracing that. And I'm definitely doing the same. And it's been so healing and so much fun. Talk about joy and bliss. So if this resonates with you and you're to this place where, yeah, let's maybe rekindle the fires here. You get that internal fire smoldering and going, and life's really joyous, really joyful when the internal fires are burning. So I encourage everybody out there here, this Army of Light Earth Division, to get reconnected with your orgasm if you haven't already. It's embarrassing even saying that, but I really feel that it's true. I feel that it's true. Unconditional love in general, guys. I still haven't quite figured this out yet. I am still working with the guides quite closely with trying to understand how to do this and be in service through love. And it's getting better and it's getting easier. But I will tell you, again, just in the last week and a half, I'm really being shown and coming to know that I'm really not in control of what's happening in my life at this level. And this even applies to my love life, to my personal relationships. And I am just reminded once again that I need to just completely let go of the steering wheel, allow this experience here to go with the flow, being guided every step of the way. And our teams have said this so many times, just let go of the steering wheel, Shawna. You're in good hands. We flank you on all sides. We're moving, we're flowing here. We're following the blueprint perfectly. You're doing a great job. All these things. But I've had yet another pivot with my personal relationships, with my love life here. So I really have to just let go and just allow and just trust. And I've had some heartache about that this last week. Just knowing that, it's like I am, and I've said this before, I'm going to say it again, maybe a little bit differently. I'm like the main actor in a play. Like I have the starring role in my own personal theater. And it's like everybody around me kind of knows what's actually going on here and what the lines are and what the general flow of the play is, except me. Like I'm the one who's in the dark here. So I've got our beautiful teams of light here kind of guiding me and helping me. And my higher self has worked with all of these beings pre-life to come up with all of these experiences, how my mission's going to play out, the relationships that are here to support me, all these things that are really supporting the mission. And I just get to really let go of trying to control anything and just be going with the flow. And again, letting go of control has been one of the biggest challenges. And I've talked about this for years now, guys. I'm 5.5 years into this awakening journey. And I know some of you have been on your journeys much, much longer than that. So I still feel like I'm pretty new to this, to be honest. But it's been one of the biggest challenges I've had is just letting go of control. And I'd say secondarily, letting go of worry. I have always identified with being a worrywart. Like, if I'm not worrying about something, who am I? And these kinds of shadows are just right in my face right now, just really, really present. And I can get in my own way. And that's not, it's not that it's bad, but it's detritus in the field, as Melchizedek likes to say. What's the static in the field? What are the shadows that stop us from seeing things clearly, really knowing who and what we are in truth very clearly, authentically. So letting go of these things. I will also say that with this latest activation that happened just 3 days ago with Melchizedek, it's like I'm having a hard time reconciling kind of where I want to be in any given moment, like which side of the veil am I actually on? Am I in both areas at once? Am I in multidimensional areas at once? Just this whole reality is starting to really blur for me. And then you add in all this emotional stuff and all this stuff with unconditional love and just trying to deal with kind of this new level of expansion where Melchizedek is just so present for me. It's like we're absolutely sharing this consciousness now. And it has me a little discombobulated, as you can imagine. Oh, before I move on from kind of the personal relationship thing, I want to say I've picked up this book, Polysecure, Polyamory, Attachment, Trauma, and Consensual Non-Monogamy. I'm trying to figure out, are people talking about how to love unconditionally and be in relationship? And what does this look like? And Melchizedek has said, it's really going to be quite difficult to have a traditional relationship from the upper room because we bring all of these expectations and all these needs and all these fears and all this stuff into these relationships as soon as there's a box around it. And I really, I haven't gotten that far in this book, to be honest, but the first paragraph of this thing actually got me choked up. So I think I'm on the right track here, and I think this is going to be helpful on some level. And it's just really about loving everybody and loving everything and knowing the healing power of love. I don't want to hold back my love from anybody. I really want to be able to shower everybody with love. And, how do we really do that in today's society? And how do I deal with that, right? The second book that I'm listening to on audiobook is called Come As You Are. And it is science around our sexuality. And it's the surprising new science that will transform your sex life. And that's by Emily Nagoski. She's a PhD. So I just started listening to that as well. So just letting you know where I'm at, guys, kind of mentally, emotionally, with all of this and kind of where my mind is going right now in terms of trying to anchor this kind of information as we really are exploring new territory here, exploring new territory in love consciousness. We're ready. We're ready to come out of the dark ages here. What can I do to help with this? And now I've got Melchizedek right here, and we're doing this together. So I'm going to switch gears. All right. So that's basically an update on all that. Thanks, guys, for being on this journey with me. And it's super personal. And I'm not used to talking about stuff this personal, but I do really feel like it's really not that personal anymore. I feel like we're really working more on the collective level. And I think it's important. All right. I want to read what Melchizedek had to say today, just today, about this melding that just happened and kind of this roller coaster that I'm still finding myself on. So I checked in with them. They said, "Thank you so much, Shawna, for your patience with us as we prepared to speak with you today. How are you feeling now?" And I said, "I'm feeling much better." I had started with kind of a lot of like, what is this? What are we doing? How am I going to maneuver all of this? And just kind of feeling out of sorts. Again, just feeling, discombobulated today. And they did a lot of energy work with me, and I was feeling so much better. So I said, "I'm feeling much better, team, really quite centered, at peace. Thank you, thank you, thank you." And they said, "That's a delight, Shawna, good. We feel you as well. We understand that there is a lot that you are beginning to know in deeper ways than with the mind. This is a knowing from your heart center, from the deepest places of who and what you are in truth. And this can be unsettling at first. There will be an acclimation process that will continue as more information becomes available to you that resonates within that space, deep space within you." They said here, "We ask for your continued patience and also extreme gentleness with yourself, Shawna. Patience and gentleness as you make this journey, this leg of the journey, to broader vistas, expanded consciousness, where worlds will open up at your feet. Okay, so, and I've got more to go here, but again, and then, well, let me continue here and then I'll stop. Very soon, they said, new information will be pouring forth directly into a place within you that can accept and comprehend these truths. This is not for the faint of heart, dear one. Much of your preparation has been for these coming moments, whereby the book is open and all the pages will be revealed to you. Does this make sense, Shawna? Yeah, so 3 days ago, I think I'd mentioned, team, the last couple of weeks that I felt like I was being constricted somehow, like I was going through like like a birth canal almost energetically. It felt very physical with the team. And they said, we don't want to tell you too much of what this is. We want the element of surprises on our side. And I think what happened 3 days ago was the culmination of all this work over the last few weeks, to this moment where I felt them come up into my body and I was just buzzing. But also these visuals and also just this expansion. And it lasted for about 20 minutes. I was like lost in this space for a long time. And I just really, and when that was all done, I was shaking. And I could tell that that something really significant had happened. And they were just really more so in my field than ever before. And it felt like a coming home, like a locking, like an anchoring of this energy. And I said, yes, this makes sense. I said, I'm just thrilled. I'm thrilled. I said, thank you so much for your patience in helping me get here. I said, my only concern is still trusting myself. Like with you being so close in my field, I was saying to them today, how do I know that a part of me isn't conjuring something up or that I created it? How do I know that this is going to be truth? Because I think the information that's going to be coming in isn't going to be so much channeled as it has been, but there's going to be insertions of information kind of into more of my field, if that makes sense. Archangel Metatron used to do this all the time, where it's just all of a sudden it'd be like a thought bomb, and I would know something that I didn't know before, and it was just inserted into my consciousness. So I think that's kind of where this is going. So I said, if you could speak a little bit more to my insecurities here around really trusting this information at this level. And they said, certainly, Shawna. They said here, your circuitry, if you will, has been primed in essence to carry the information through frequencies. This will feel very different from anything your mind or ego can conjure, Shawna. We feel that you will have no problem discerning what may be information provided to you through these new channels versus what you may create more locally, if you will. They said, dear one, these are things that the small self really could not comprehend nor imagine. The information, some of it at least, will be delightful while at the same time be terrifying. And I said, excuse me, team. I said, delightful and terrifying. I said, can you please clarify that? And they said, yes, dear one, we will explain further. There are truths that were never meant to be touched by the human mind. There are truths that were never meant to be touched by the human mind, never meant to be comprehended by anyone in humanity. The time has come for these truths to be revealed to you and others like you, Shawna, who hold the torch and are the beacon for expanded awareness, expanded consciousness, and an evolutionary leap. So the prospect of getting a glimpse at this forbidden knowledge will be thrilling on one level, and then one must reconcile what is actually being provided in terms of information and the horrific nature of some of this information. Well, yeah, no surprise, right, that this is going to be horrific. We were never meant to know these things. And here we get to be playing this really big role, team, bringing this information to consciousness as a collective. I don't ever want you to underestimate your power as a singularity here in this role, playing this role, bearing witness to information that's going to be coming through from our guides. And it's not just from me, it's going to be other channelers, other information, other means, ways of really bringing disclosure to the next level. This is the year. They said, today, Shawna, in this moment, we are closer with you than we've ever been before, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The alignment of heart and of breath and of love is such that we are able to more fully be your partner for this leg of the journey. I said, thank you so much, team. I'm thrilled. I said, can you tell me more about the melding that happened in a way that I can understand and that maybe the constituents could better understand? And then I'm also wondering if there will be others who are watching this video who may also experience like this on some level. As we were saying, Shawna, our partnership and the way that we work with your field, dear one, is not easily explainable in terms that can be comprehended and understood. There is, in essence, an aspect of Melchizedek that has been consciously embedded into your field, Shawna, your consciousness. And there's also an aspect of your consciousness that resides within us at all times. They said here, there is a bit of an exchange happening, and this creates a link between our consciousness structure and your consciousness structure, almost like co-location, being in multiple places at once, with also the ability to be consciously aware of those multiple locations at any given time. Even as I read this, I think, okay, I kind of get it. But I tell you what, like living it, like actually trying to live it in a day-to-day. And the teams had me in meditation for hours and hours each day. I'm in meditation as much as possible, which means a lot of sitting, a lot of quiet. So I am trying to also work out like a crazy woman, get to the gym, spend a good hour and a half, really work my muscles, really, get the blood pumping and circulating, because I'm sitting so much in meditation and trying to acclimate to these frequencies and to these ideas and to get through all the emotions that are coming up as this frequency continues to raise. All right, let me keep going here. They said, it is the permeability of this reality which allows communing at this level. The permeability of this reality which allows the communing at this level. Holy mackerel. I mean, they're not kidding. They said, and yes, Shawna, as the field expands and the access between the different realms of consciousness, the different dimensions, if you will, the different facets of reality, as they expand and open, more of you will have the opportunity to experience this. So that's super exciting. Maybe. We're ready. It is exciting. We've got this. We are rocking this. They said here, this also allows us to directly impact the collective consciousness in a more immediate way. In essence, dear one, Melchizedek too has become the boots on the ground, along with you and all your constituents. I love when they said this. Melchizedek is now really, in essence, part of the boots on the ground, the Army of Light Earth Division, because they're able to work through our fields like this at this level. They said, you have allowed us to be present in tangible ways at your plane of existence. I'm so excited about that. They said here, this level of access not only gives us greater visibility into the energetic field of the planet, it also allows us to support you and to nurture you and protect you with greater efficiency. So we are very grateful, Shawna, for this opportunity to cohabitate with you at this level. It's part of the grander plan. Part of the grander plan. All right. They said here, as we've mentioned before, your mission requires this level of integration. We share this mission. And while we are unable to explain that part further, know that you are so loved, so loved. You are seen, you are understood, you are nurtured and protected. This is a beautiful alignment, Shawna, and it is helping to empower great change here. And then they took a pause here, and I said, so the I said, the book that you said that's going to fall open and all pages will be revealed to me, this information that's going to be streaming in for disclosure. I said, are we going to be putting that in the book that I'm channeling, which I haven't done much channeling for in the last several weeks? Is it going to be part of the book, or is it going to be just part of the videos that we're going to be making? What's going to be the logistics for this information that's coming through? And they said, Shawna, it shall be both. The new frequencies and the information carried within will help us articulate, deeper concepts for the book, and we will also help you communicate some of this information on an ad hoc basis through other means. I said, okay, thank you, team. They said, we will also add, Shawna, that there is a greater coordination happening with the disclosure. Many programs being set in place and set in motion, and this will help amplify the most important information to greater audiences. Yeah. Think about this, guys. We've been talking about the negative reptilian regime now for years. But even in the beginning with the Galactic Federation of Light, the 100 days of channeling that I did with them, the reptilian regime was only mentioned a small handful of times. I can't believe how far we've been able to come with this over the last couple of years. It's really quite amazing. I'm seeing it more often. I'm hearing it more often. There's a level of acceptance here. But again, I know that we are in this smaller collective, and we've come to the planet ready to carry this information to a broader awareness. This is a big part of what we're doing here, bringing awareness to these things that have been kept in the dark. So we're all sharing in this mission here with this disclosure. You guys are, it's critical that we have a collective that is able to bring this stuff to light. But really, truly, we're still such a small fraction of the larger humanity. And I just don't know. I think 2024 is going to be absolutely incredible. It's an election year for us. Here in the United States, and it's always nuts anyway, but you add on all these other layers of other things that are going on with the ascension, and how the negative reptilian regime is really ratcheting up everything that they can to squash that. But as Melchizedek said last time and during the mass media meditation, they can't stop our hearts from opening. They cannot stop this. We are in choice here. And this torch that we bring here, this torch that we're raising high, and all the bravery that this is going to take to really be able to be in this space. And it's like this calm in the chaos. We are going to be right here ready to anchor in the light when all this chaos continues to explode around us. This is going to be critical. It's going to be a critical 12 months. So bringing the information to greater audiences, they said. All right. I think that's really about everything. This went longer than I thought. I hope this wasn't too just disjointed. It's a bit of a frenetic time right now for me. I'm really wondering how all of you are doing. Please let me know. And I so appreciate all your beautiful comments and thoughts and all your support for me trying to get through this relationship stuff. It's been really quite incredible to have all of your support. All right. Well, I do expect to talk to y'all next week on schedule. I love you all so much. Please take care of yourselves. Make sure you're finding your joy, your peace. I'm here if you need me. Reach out. All right, guys. Love you. I'll talk to you next week. Mwah.